Yeah, Ronald Cookie Dutton, and originally from Kenya. Bought a house here in Menindee. I just been back for 10 to 12 years now, and as soon as I got back here, I seen what was happening straight away. So I went away working, and I used to run a water treatment plant.
And what have you been seeing in the last 10 or 12 years?
I seen the problem straight away where they reckon that evaporation, that was lies straight away.
Yeah.
You know?
What were they saying about the evaporation? We've heard a few people say, but what did you hear?
You got to have evaporation to create the water, you know? And,
yes.
Yeah. And when I relocated back down to, I was down.
Can you just hang on for 1 second? We can't hear you. I think Mark was on the mics. Ryan, can you fix the mic so we can hear this gentleman, please? No. Thank you, Dutton. Sorry.
See if that helps.
Yo!
Yeah, there you go. Okay. Y'all thought he couldn't hear, now we can. Yeah. So they were telling you that evaporation, and why were they all talking about evaporation? Was that their reason for changing what they were doing?
I think they're lying just to try and empty the lakes, and what people were talking about, bore drill holes everywhere, and where I moved, I learned to swim up in Barrywarrina.
Yeah.
And where the Bowen meets the Darling.
Yeah.
And I used to, you don't see any ibises along the river much. I used to trap ibises when I was a kid to feed the people and that. And build those rocks and all that.
Yeah.
Now, bad not to see the ibises much along the river, and don't see the old kingfisher much, you know. I used to sit on the river and you'd see a kingfisher, go down to get some bugs off the water, and like Virgin mentioned about catfish, and where's the catfish and all that gone, yeah.
And so you'd been back in Kenya for 10, 12 years?
I pass through Kenya all the time.
But you're living here in Menindee?
Yeah, I was working up, I bought a house here. Yeah. I was trying to get one on the river, but probably glad I didn't if the water's not there anymore.
And how are you using water here in town at the moment?
No. I work in Ivanhoe, and the water over in Ivanhoe is better than Menindee. And they, a year or so ago, they must have sent it down to Leandra Creek, and they filled the dam up out there, and they got good water. And when I come back to Menindee, I couldn't wash my clothes because the water stink, and I use rainwater at home. And I plus in between my washing machine broke down, so I took my clothes back to Ivanhoe to wash them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And have you been having to buy water to drink, or are you taking the stuff when it arrives?
I just take some and give it to my people who need it. So I got rainwater tanks, and I bought another 2 rainwater tanks from Ivanhoe to set up at home.
Do you ever remember seeing it so terrible with the water supplies here?
No.
Because we've heard a lot of people...
This is bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to have quality drinking water, you know, and not just for drinking, washing, cooking, and you know, they just turn the river upside down.
Yeah, we've heard, what do you think has been happening to the river that's made it so sick?
Poisons. Yeah. Not letting the river flow. This river even little creeks, they say you're not allowed to block off this and that. Well, the Darling and that, all these rivers would have started off as little creeks, you know. And
You would have seen a lot of changes to that in your time, hey? Like the dams and the weirs and...
yeah, I used to walk along the river, and you'd see, a lot of times stress-free. You go along the river, sit there on your own, and I seen turtles come out of the river and lay eggs, and I seen like the kingfishers, and yeah.
We were just hearing about how there were bulrushes and, you know, clear water. It's really hard to imagine now when you see
Used to see the cod swimming along, you know.
Yeah.
I'd walk along the river and see the cod swimming. When I lived in Wilcannia years ago, when the water was clear, we used to be able to see dark young swimming up there below the way. Everyone used to go down swimming and moving the rocks around, catching fish.
Do you think it affects the kids now that they don't have that experience?
Yeah.
What do they say to you, or what are they feeling?
When I come down from Menindee, I met a woman here, one of the Phillips, and had 2 kids there. And then I relocated and didn't work out, and I met a woman down Howlong and had 5 kids, and I always brought those kids back, you know. And they loved Menindee, mate. And years ago when the Tories, all the grapes were growing and pickle onions, I'd been over there when I was a kid, pickling onions and when I moved to Howlong, we used to go to buy the seedless grapes from Menindee.
That's all changed, hey? All the agriculture, all the local farms seem to have disappeared around here.
Yeah. And
What do you think the solutions are to try to make that river healthy again?
stop the upfield activities going on. It's got to be stopped. Let the rivers flow, the creeks, and there's nothing wrong with having a ring main and that. You know, you got to have water everywhere, but whether they're up to something else, you know.
What have you been hearing that they're up to?
They could be up to trying to get the mineral sands, like everyone else has been saying, so. Yeah.
Did anyone have any questions?
Like all the kids, and I learned to climb trees along the river and swim and fish. I used to dive underneath and come up. Try diving now, you'd come up like the green monster or something.
Yeah. Or not come up at all and get stuck.
Yeah.
And what we've been hearing is that places, even when the water was really low, that there'd still be patches of water. But now, even the little bit that you do find, well, there's not much there, but it's just really toxic and yuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Samples should be taken everywhere, and everyone should be told the truth.
Yeah.
Not lying all the time.
Why do you think they're not telling the truth about the health of the river?
Greed, probably. Like, if they're growing cotton, the desert people probably wouldn't even want them out there trying to set up and grow cotton and kill anything that's left, and yeah.
Was there anything else you wanted to share with us?
Pardon?
Is there anything else you wanted to share with us? Otherwise we can let you go back.
Well, we all learned to dance and fish and swim, and mate, I'd love to get a chance to go naked, ditty-gooky along the river, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. You
You
can't
think
do
the
it.
river will come back to health? if we
It's
can
got to
let it?
come back.
Yeah.
Between everyone's having their piece and saying it's got to come back. Like, I always thought I got somewhere but to go back to Wilcannia, you know, that's my hometown, and Menindee, and right up Bree and visit people. All you're visiting for now is to just in meetings like this. We can't go to the river and have a meeting and... Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming up and sharing with us. We
No
appreciate
worries.
it.
All right.
We'll let you go now. Thank you.
Thank you.